Welcome. This topic is one that we really need to talk about because we've had some people with some experiences, and I have them ask me this question all the time. And because they're asking this question, I figured I'd do a video on it so it could live on forever. And hopefully, this will help somebody in their spiritual journey. So, that being said, to the people, hello, peace to you all that are still watching me on the Talk of Tick. Y'all know how I say that. I'm going to come over here to the tube of you in a minute, but until his phone dies, but we'll keep it going so that you can get both and then you can watch it back. All right. To my people that are over here, uh, when you comment, I can see it. Jack's got you. Peace, Empress. Hello. Good to see you. Thank you for dropping peace or infinity sign. Y'all know I like you to come with peace, leave with peace. Okay. And for those of you on Talk of Tick, I'm filming on the tube of you. So I'm going back and forth, but my priority and questions and stuff will be answered primarily on the tube of you. So, you guys, let's talk about what it's like when you're called everything but a child of Olodumare, i.e., God, by family and friends in this practice and in any other practice during your spiritual journey. I believe I'm going to put this on the playlist that talks about spiritual journey because I do have playlists that break down everything. Playlists that break down Isheshe, playlists that break down your journey, playlists that breaks down the divination process and how we do it. So when you have your belief system in anything that you're doing and anytime you're experiencing some sort of growth, there's always going to be pushback. It is always going to be that way. And if you think about some pivotal moments in your life, you'll realize that that is a consistent thing. Nothing that's worth doing isn't worth fighting for. Think about that for a second. And I know how we really want it to be easy, and I get it. We're like, hey, I just want it to be easy. I don't want to argue with nobody. I just want them to accept me for who I am and all of those good things. Peace to everybody dropping the infinity symbol. I love y'all to life and thank you so much because y'all know. I know that I get this question a lot, and I know I answered before about how I came out spiritually to my family. And it was a process. And what's interesting now is for me to have these conversations with my parents, and I'm blessed to have both of them alive. And they don't practice what I practice, right? But for me to have conversations when I'm like, oh, mom, this happened, I have to generalize because information that's shared with me remains confidential. And I tell y'all that, and I don't say that lightly. And I don't say that just to say that. I don't play around with that type of stuff. I've been through security clearances and all these other type of things. And so that's something else too I want to get to when I speak about that. So I'm serious when I tell you that. I may generalize stories and such in order to help people with what it is that they're going through and they're doing so that your lesson and what you learn can benefit other people because that's important. And again, I do it so that this content will continue to live on. And when people are on their journey, it'll find them at the right time and the right time for them. So, that being said, when talking to them about the journey that we've had together as a family and how I've had to maneuver, I have not had it as extreme, in my opinion, as other people. I've told you all about the standoff with my father. And if y'all haven't seen that, the other spiritually coming out video, go watch that and you'll understand. So to see the standoff that we had, and that went on for years. That wasn't like a 1, 2, 3 year thing. that that went on for years because I'm that number one stubborn and I'm their child. And that's something I want to get into. When your family tends to call you everything but a child of Olodumare or a child of God, and they talk about you behind your back and they tell you what you're doing isn't right and isn't for you, et cetera, et cetera. I said this when I was talking on the phone to someone, and it was simply this: if it's your parents or your family and they know you very well, would they not trust, particularly your parents, that they raised you well enough for you to know what is right and not right for you? That they raised you well enough that you would do what is good for you? That was a question that I posed. And I said that when I spoke to my mother the other day when I was talking about a situation. Because I said, at some point, your parents or those who raised you should respect enough that they put enough in you, right? Unless they've seen some signs of mental instability, that they put enough in you that they know and trust that you will make the right decisions for you, yourself, and if you so happen to have your own independent family within your family, for your family, your children, etc. And so when people call you these names and they say these things, it makes me question, do they not have enough faith in their ability as a parent and their parenting to you to trust that they did what was right for you to learn and do what is right for you? That is something that's so interesting to me, because I can't fathom calling my child anything but their name or love. I can't fathom it. And I thought about, if anything was negative that they did in their life, would I still feel the same way? At the end of the day, I know better because they're my child and I know how I raised them to be, right? So when you look at that from that perspective and you're like, okay, I trust that they're going to do the best that's for them. I trust that they're going to be good people, right? And they're going to do great in the world. Then that alone, when people are on their spiritual journey, should be enough for people to respect who and what you decide to do, who you are and what you decide to do. Because they should know that you would not do something. And I already tell you this. And I know that people, it's specifically in Isheshe, but in spirituality in general, I know that people will say Isheshe is evil, or Ifa, as you know it, evil. It's nothing but this, and this. I don't know, because they do this animal things and the such and such and such. And then I want to get into, but you go and eat food that you get at the grocery store, ain't there a bit of it blessed unless you practice in some sort of religion that requires it. So then it's bad because you see it. But if you grow up on a farm, you have to slaughter animals in order to do what you're doing. But it's bad because we pray and have their energy used in order to help a situation, but every part of them still benefits a people. Like, I'm trying to understand what that is. So people can say, I don't agree with sacrifice that's going on in your tradition, but you deal with sacrifice all the time for your leather goods. You don't have a problem wearing that unless you are a strong vegan, right? Or work for PETA. Real talk. You're okay with your leather goods, with your clothes, with your fashion. You're okay with your food that you're gonna go get from the store. You're okay with all of these things. You're okay with your quick meals, your microwave meals. What? Who blessed those animals? Who talked to them? Who? How did that go? What energy was used to benefit not only a people but a person in that process? I need y'all to make it make sense. Okay, pause on that for a second while I handle some noise on the end. Thank you. All right. Yep. Feathers. Yep. Feathers in your pillows. That's right. All of that. Fur coats. Even some of the plastics and stuff using that. Hell, the candy you eat. Like, not even playing. All of it. And no part of that is like, hey, I have a problem with it. But let it be something that's considered something done as part of a tradition. Peace, Jack. I'm on Tube of You. So that's where I'm looking and answering. So none of that is part of a tradition. It's just done because of commerce. But when it's done over here, it's bad. So let me go back to the other part of that. I know there are a lot of people that practice various alternative methods of what they consider to be worship. And or the thing that I find interesting is, as long as you have a belief, right? And that belief sustains you in something. Why is it that people have a problem with that? I I can't fathom what that problem would be. The foundation for me on whether something is going to be beneficial is, here are the two rules. Does it hurt you? Does it hurt anybody else? If you break those two rules, then that's a problem. Then you need to leave that alone. That goes along with whoever your teacher is or whoever you decide to let in your energy space to teach you these things. So if you have people teaching you to be that way. Peace, Sister Brittany. Good to see you. If you have people teaching you to be that way, teaching you to be spiteful, teaching you that a power that is beyond yourself is yours when it's not, because that happens a lot, where they're like, I have the power of this. Look, I was about to call it the proper name, but I can't do that, because if I call it the proper name, then I'm going to give scammers some more AMU to use, just like they've been using Olu. so, so let me back up. Let me just use the word Orisha that people are common with. In this case, if you have a particular Orisha, or you all are working with angels, if you practice Wicca, and many of them work with what they consider to be like um, earth. Well, see, people say fairies and things of that nature, but they're called something else for other people. So let's say they're doing that. And they say, oh, I call on their energy to help me do whatever, whatever. At any point when someone says, well, I'm going to call on so and so so they could strike you down, and you better not, because they'll do this. You don't have to come with that energy. Your protection is your business. when it goes where it needs to go, it'll go where it needs to go. You don't have to. The people who bark the loudest don't need to bark the loudest. There's no need to announce these things. Furthermore, no power belongs to you. You're just borrowing a smidgen of it, just like the millions of other people who do the same thing. You're just borrowing a little bit. You are one of millions. That doesn't make you better than the other. And so when those people do those type of things, that baffles the shit out of me. Like, I'm trying to understand, where is the peace in that? Where are you growing from that? And then you take that and you add that to your family, telling you that you're crazy, you're doing all of these things, this isn't right, it's evil, blah, 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 blah. I can see where they're coming from based on people who do that. But you have to go back to what I said. They have to trust that they raised you right, that they know you well enough that you would do what's right for you and your family. Period. So based on that, you're not going to act a fool and start telling people you smiting them. Do you know how crazy that just sounds? I don't even care if you think it. If you want to think it to yourself, cool. But don't say it out loud to people. Why? It's not yours. Boo, you just borrowing. You borrowing a prayer. You borrowing a wing and a prayer, and you asking for help, because anything that you do, you're asking for. You ask for that. You don't command it. Do you know what happens in divinations when people are commanding stuff? It comes up in the divination. It's almost like a warning, like, keep on commanding such and such. And a lot of people like to command Ajay. And I was telling you all before, Ajay means different things. They want to talk about the elders of the night when they talk to me, or they leave comments. So that so and so, different accents in the Yoruba language on a word changes the meaning. Can mean dog too. So I'm just saying, they'll command, say I'm manifesting, command this energy, and it'll come up. You need to stop enslaving this energy, because as soon as you stop doing those commands and she gets a little bit of free, you can lose just as quickly as you got it. And people don't even pay attention to it, which is why you can't operate in a this is my power. But see, when people do that, then it gives assumptions to your family and whoever else that that's how you're going to be, that that's what they see, that that's what it's going to be. And that's not the case. And so you have to be okay with, number one, taking some pushback at the beginning. And that pushback may last years. I'm not going to say that it won't. And then afterwards, taking a moment to realize that you are doing what is right for you. And if you so choose to introduce that to more family members when they ask, fine. But I also understand that based on whatever it is you practice, and I'm only speaking from this perspective outside of just spirituality in general, there are various aspects of spirituality that are nothing but good for people and helps people, period. Anything that brings you peace and peace of mind and helps you to help yourself and others is great. So do whatever you want to do. But in doing that, understand that you may sometimes have to walk alone in this, and it is not your job to convince people of what to do. It's not your job to convince them that you are right. The most painful thing is knowing that you have a solution or a way to help them in your journey, but they're not open to receiving it. And sometimes it takes for them to get to the lowest point possible or to a fear state before they even ask for the help. Or they won't even ask. You'll suggest something and they'll go, "Oh, let me just well, go ahead, do whatever you think is right." Because it has to be like dire for them to do so. But you have to keep yourself together and realize that you are walking in what you're supposed to walk in for you. You can't worry about them. I even said this before. When you're gone, they're not going to be buried with you. If you decide you want to be cremated, y'all ashes aren't going to be mixed. It's just not happening. So, how you live your life is how you live your life. And what you leave behind and that legacy you leave behind, let it be one of I'm helping people behind me, because you need to help them so they can soon walk beside you. And it's not always easy to do. Peace, y'all. Okay. So, and that comes in anything, in career too. Sometimes they may not agree with whatever you're doing. Apparently, somebody needs to hear this. In spirituality and career, you have the same thing going on. Hold on one moment. Kids. So, sometimes you are doing a career where nobody, they're like, I don't even understand how that's going to go. Even when people are like, oh, I'm going to be an influencer or such and such. First, no shade. Sister Brittany, I know you on here. But you aren't an influencer unless you can influence people to engage, buy, or do something. You aren't influencing shit. You just chilling and playing on the internet. So until you influence people to do that, and that doesn't mean millions of followers. That's another thing. People think it means millions of followers. No, influencing is the power of influencing people to take action. If you can't do that, then you're not an influencer. You just chilling. This is a hobby, and you're hoping that it becomes something else. But being a creator and an influencer are almost one and the same. Creators tend to do stuff that they want to educate people in a different way for themselves. They enjoy what they do, and then they happen to turn into influence because people want to know what's going on. Influencers typically are like, hey, I have this and this going on, and I want you to engage. And so there's a difference. So I'm saying that to say the same thing. In your practices that you do along your journey, people will say that they're doing what you're doing or they're familiar with it because they've looked it up, they've studied it, they such and such. But until they're able to walk in your shoes and receive the peace that you receive, it's just not going to work for them. So not everybody is going to walk on your same elevated plane. It's just not. I say it all the time. I'm like, you're not meant to walk on an elevated plane. That's not for you. So don't do it. So it's not your job to convince them that what you're doing is right. It's not your job to convince them that it works. It is only your job to live your life, walk in the purpose of what you're doing. And then if they so happen to get lucky to get a glimpse of that or a whiff of that or benefit from you because of that, then let them do so. And in their own time, they will come around. And their come around would be the one thing that you want, and peace till it's good. The one thing that you want is respect, respect for your beliefs, respect for who you are. Because I told y'all, my father said to me, I know very well what I believe when we had a conversation. And I told him, as do I. We didn't talk about it again. Next thing you know, he's doing a speech at a school that happens to be a Christian college. And he tells them, my daughter practices African spirituality. My other children, they're Christians. That's it. They were like, well, how does that work for you? And he said, I asked her if they believe in God. She told me yes. That was good enough for me. That was the process of me standing my ground, of me saying, no, I don't need to go there and do that. I don't need to worship that way. That was the process of them seeing the benefits of what had occurred in my life, of me seeing me happier than I had been, seeing the peace that I had. That was the benefits of me being consistently me. And I told them the same thing. You have to trust that you raised me well enough to know better. You have to trust that you raised me to do better. And if you trust that you raised me to be a good person, then you'll trust I'm doing the right thing for me. Now, one thing I can say is I was never called to any names outside of a child of Olodumare. Was never called that. But I was questioned, I was asked. Now the questions are, how is Babalau and them doing? Because they can't say Alu. They're getting better though. Those are the questions. What are y'all working on now? How many prayer things did you have to do? Because they don't know what to call anything anymore. You had to sit through them things all day. You stay praying and stuff more than you ever did when you were over here. I couldn't even get you to be in revival that long. That's what these statements are now. That's how they go. So, that being said, for those of you all on your journey and you feel backed up against the wall and you feel alone and you feel as if everybody is against you, they may very well be. But as long as you do what makes you happy, that's all that matters. As long as you follow what you know is right, that's all that matters. And when the day comes when they ask you for help or they need help, you give it to them. And you give it to them in the best way you know how, regardless of what your practice is. Whatever the prayer you need to do, whatever the rocks you need to shake, whatever the herbs you need to put together, whatever the candle you need to light, you do it all. And you do it all because they asked. That doesn't mean they'll stay, but at least they asked. Okay? So stand and do what is best for you. The rest will come around. Because I'm telling you, once they see you all right, you happy, you doing the things you need to do, they'll be like, wow, what are you doing? Why do you look so young? Why do you look like you're not stressed? Why do you look okay? And they're like, really? Because they'll hear in your life, you'll have all hell going going down in the back end. So and so's in the hospital, such and such is going down, all of these things. And they'll still look at you wondering why you're still at peace, that all shit is breaking loose in the world. All these things are going on that are so horrible. Why are you so good? They'll still ask you that. Well, why are you having such a good day? Why? And you know what you're gonna say? Because I shook some rocks, I held a crystal. Listen, I did my prayers, I did my appeasement, I talked to my ancestors. Whatever your practice is, I had some herbs, I lit a candle, and that's why I'm good. And watch what happens. So, that said, are there any of you all who have a question or a situation that you'd like me to respond to? Let me know. Jax can have you come up. She has a link for you to come up if you want to come up, or you may just leave a comment. And I'm gonna go back through to some of your comments on here and see what happens. Because I mean, do you, boo? Even when you in your job, do you? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Like, you know what I'm saying? They kill me. And that's what I'm gonna say. Oh, people who have high jobs, security clearance jobs, people who are professors. There's one that's on Talk of Tick. Uh, is it Dr. Nicole? I cannot remember her last name, and I want to shout it out. Anyway, who left a university position and then started on Talk of Tick. You have to ask yourself, if this is so crazy and out there, why do these people with security clearances and these people that have high positioning jobs or careers or entertainers, et cetera, practicing this practice or practicing whatever they practice that is outside of what people consider normal? You have to ask yourself that question. Like, what is going on that these highly intelligent folks are doing that? So that is the deal. Thanks, Jax, for answering for me. Yes, Rosa, it's good to see you. And yes, I'm divine as always. All right. I'm going to scroll back down. I was trying to find Sister Brittany because y'all hear me talk about her all the time. And she's on my business content on here that I made a playlist for. Boy, you got to see her. I'm trying to find you, Sister Brittany. I need you to comment. There you go. Excuse me. Let me tell you, Sister Brittany. You know what? Let me tell y'all this backstory because this is going to trip you out. For a long time on Clubhouse, Brittany and I were talking and we were in these rooms. And there's a young lady who's heavy, 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 heavy. I love Jesus, heavy. And she would go in the rooms, listen to the advice, the business advice and stuff that we were doing. She would go, hey, she would message us on Instagram, talk to us all the time. And she was calling me sister. She said I had that energy, that I was like a woman of the church. No lies. No lies. She was like, "Hey, Sister Chandra, I just feel like Sister Chandra." She would invite me to these prayer rooms, all of this stuff. My whole bio always told you what I practiced, always told you what I did. One day, she decided she was going to open up a dream interpretation room with a Bible twist, like a Christian dream interpretation. Now, see, it's okay if you put Christianity on it, it's a little spin. If you put prophet and prophetess on it, it's all right, right? If you put healing hands on it, it's okay. So we were in there. I was answering people's questions, no problem. She's like, "This is Sister Shauna." She kept calling me this. And so one of the people on the stage asked the question, like, "Do you know what she practiced? She's a witch, blah, blah, blah." So she messaged me and asked me, did I believe in the Trinity? And I said no. From that moment, she was like, "Wait, I told them that you're not evil because I've been talking to you for a long time, and you advise me on business, and what you say is good for me, and da 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 da." And I just didn't pick that up because I know things too, and I didn't pick that up on you. Okay, so my point is, and then this is where Sister Chandra comes from. So now Brittany calls me Sister Chandra, and I call her Sister Brittany. But my point to that story is, when you walk in divine faith and purpose, and you carry yourself a certain way, whether I be smart, snippy, acting ass, cuss, whatever, but my energy still tells you that if you need help, I'll give it to you. My energy still tells you that it's okay to come to me to ask me to do a prayer for you because I don't mind. And I'm not going to do the kind of prayer to send you under. I'm going to do the kind of prayer to help you out. That you believe that I practice the faith you believe because I actually walk what your faith is supposed to teach you and you don't do. Think about that for a second. And I'm in a whole different lane. But at no point would I ever disrespect you and tell you that you're not doing what's right for you. At no point would I ever disrespect you and tell you that it is not of God because you doing what you do. Why? Because that's not what Ishe does. If our belief is how we believe the tools got here from Olodumare, then that's what our belief is. If I believe that everybody has their own way to communicate and do the things they want to do, then that's what the belief is. It is not for me to condemn what you believe. It is for me to teach you what the truth is about how you believe it. Did you hear that? That's the difference. I can give you the truth and you can decide whether you want to move forward with that. But what I won't do is condemn you for your practice. I'm not going to condemn you for what you do. I'll talk against the abuse and stuff that is established because of this practice, yes. But I'm not going to condemn you for it because that's your lesson. That's what you're supposed to go through. That's what's supposed to happen. That is for you. Okay, so let me go back. Monique, I see your question. All right. New to this journey, and my husband is totally against it. He complains about even the smell of Florida water. I feel stuck. First off, tell him it's a cologne, and I'm being real serious. Tell him it's a cologne, was real popular. Sorry, he doesn't like it. You can add other scents to it to change it for him, but he will be all right. Secondly, the same thing applies. He knew who you were when he married you. However, the one thing he didn't take into consideration is over time, you are going to grow and change, and he's supposed to be that support system to grow and change with you. So he doesn't have to agree with what you're doing. But if what you're doing is going to be for your benefit and his, he should respect that. That's what he should do. So have that conversation. Over time, he can start to look and see how it's benefiting both of you all because it benefits your household. What you do and how you bring in Ashe into your house is affecting both of you all because you all will always be a unit. So you walking as a unit and being a unit because you care for him even when he doesn't know he needs to care for himself, that is what you have to do. He has two choices. He can join you or respect you. That's it. Because you're growing. And with growth comes change. And people don't say stagnant. It just doesn't happen. You can't grow being still. Okay? So that's the hard part of that. Let me see. Jacob. You already know me. Okay, if anyone wants to come up, yeah, I could see in the back. What in the backwards? Manny. Manny, I know, for the Bible dream interpretations. I see you, Jax. I see it. Let me see. He said, what in the backwards? Listen, y'all have no idea. I was like, what is that? Yep, pick evil. Come on. She's on a okay, so we were on an audio app. We're on an audio app. So she messaged me. She wasn't talking to me at the time. So her reaction was sort of like, wait, what? It's like all these months, it didn't hit her. And I'm trying to tell y'all, I have a Yana fun stuff all in my profile. That has not changed. It's been there. It tells you I'm a spiritual life coach. It's all there. Somebody said spiritual to them though meant church, but I never heard that before. I didn't know that that's what that meant. But okay. Spirituality to me means all aspects of the things known and unknown to you in this world. That's what spirituality means to me. It doesn't mean a construct under something else. It's just different. Rosa, I see you on here. Okay. Rosa on Talk of Tick asked, how can I figure my purpose? What's funny is when people come and get a divination from us and they look for it to be a job, but it's not always a job. It's sort of a position within that. Case in point, example, great example. You are meant to help and heal people. How you help and heal people, that becomes what it is. So you asking about that, divination is one way. The other way is you need to look at all the aspects of your life of things that have challenged you that you thought set you back, that actually built up a skill and or skills to help you in a sole purpose, because your purpose will never be a position. It'll be what you do in that position. So you were meant to be a healer. Case in point, somebody today, you're meant to go into nursing, such and such and such. That's what meant to be a healer means. I know it paused because talk of tick, my phone's about to die. So that's what it says. You need to be a healer. So you're meant to be in nursing. You're meant to be a doctor. You're meant to do these things. That's a healer. It may not always come out. You meant to be laying hands on people. It may not always come out that way. You may find your transitions, and I spoke about this before, you may lose jobs and have situations where you're like, I thought I was supposed to do this, but I'm not supposed to do that. But your purpose will always be what makes you make other people feel good. Your purpose will always be a service position that is not a job. It is what you do within the construct of something. You may live your life very well having a set 9 to 5, but then you volunteer all the time. Every time you get a minute, you're volunteering, you're doing good for other people. That is your purpose. You may very well say, oh, I'm a lawyer and I help get people out, and that fulfills me. But then in the back end, you were creating art, or you're a makeup artist, or you're doing somebody's hair. And so your purpose is to make others feel good in that way, to help them along their journey in that way. So look at purpose. When people look at purpose, you need to look at it as in what service do you provide that will not only uplift and enlighten you, but uplift and enlighten others in their journey and what it is that they're doing. I hope I answered your question. And present vibrations, I'm so glad. I'm on the tube of you. So if you want to come over there, it's my name. You'll be able to find me live there because my phone is going to die on you in a minute. All right. And that's the problem. Let's see, Deidre, if I can put this all on here. Okay. And that's the problem with Christians. They love saying something is evil when it differs from conditioned mind and teaching. But I won't disrespect them. Yes. Because those of you all who practice various spiritual practices, I can just tell you within the Ashe tradition, as it should be, the archaic version of this tradition, you don't disrespect what other people do. You just don't. Because what they do is none of your business. But if they come and ask you for help, you help them. And that's it. You just, I told you, you got to walk on an elevated plane sometimes. Yes, I saw Jax. I got it. And I told you all a long time ago, when she gets her divination, because we've been real late, we know we're on track. So we're on our way. So remember I told you, Deidre got hers. Y'all should be ready because that means we are catching up. And that is the truth. Even the wait list is going down. Let's go. You have no idea. Listen at all the congratulations. Come on now. Come on. Yay. Come on, Divine by Design. Cause she's been waiting, and I told y'all if she got hers, we on there. Cause we are just so behind. Look, I'm giving you all the accolades right now, Deidre, because goodness knows you've been waiting. And peace to you, Reese. Good to see you. Yes. So if you got it, come on. Come on. Shantae said, congratulations. Hey, come on. It's a happy day. Stay in your lane and mind your business. Yes. I can't with you, Jax, talking about you cute or whatever. Come on. Yes. Stay in your lane now. But that's what I'm saying. It's not everybody's meant to be here. People think that's a when they say it, they think, oh, it's because of all this stuff going on, or it's evil or so and so. So no, it's just not everybody's elevated enough to be open to doing what is required in order to practice something that impacts your life. Religion is used to make people comfortable. Religion is used because people respect hearing it as a religion. But when I tell you this is a tradition and it's a way of life, I mean that from the bottom of my spirit. There are things that are so challenging sometimes to do that you were just like, can I really do this? Because you don't know if it's going to, it seems like it's not going to be beneficial for everybody because it may hurt somebody in some sort of capacity. And I'm not even joking about that. That comes with directives that you need to follow. But in the end, it always works out for the benefit of all parties involved. And that to me is amazing. And so when people ask me, would you do this or do that? What if it told you to do this or do this? I don't question, I do. My higher self already told me that I had enough sense to be here. My higher self already told me that nothing I'm doing is going to really hurt and harm you. And when I mentioned the word hurt, it may hurt some feelings, but it's not going to kill you. You're not going to expire, right? It may hurt feelings and you may not understand in that moment. But don't worry, it always brings itself back around and makes a whole bunch of sense. So when I say that, I'm not saying that just to spit it out. I'm saying it because it's nothing but the truth. So I have enough sense to know better. And when you know better, what you do better, right? So let me see. I came up and I needed. Yeah, I know, right? It sure did come when you needed it. Excuse me, y'all. I'm gonna look at this text. Let me find out none of y'all wanted to come up here. Okay. All right now. Y'all having a whole conversation in the thing. Hey, peace, you all. Thank you very much. No fear. I really appreciate that. And Rosa, my pleasure. Thank you for entrusting to ask me that question. Listen, cross your fingers, say the biggest prayer because it's on its way. Because I'm telling you, we're knocking them out. I'm so grateful and thankful. You have no idea. And you have no idea how hard it's been to knock them out, but it's coming. We are trucking along. Yes, it is. Hey, you haven't. Okay, I can. So grateful I ran into this. Oh, that is so wonderful, Candy. That touches my soul. Thank you. First, thank you for commenting and saying so. I really appreciate that. And I know we appreciate it. Thank you, Jax, for dropping the if you want to come in. Come on, Noble, with my infinity symbol. Y'all, I think my dad, ever since being home for the holidays, I think he knows when I go live because I promise that's when he wants to message. And he's one of those people that stays up late. That's where I get it from. So he does. He knows I'm on here. Just like when he wanted to, for those of you all who haven't watched the New Year's Eve live class, my dad was in the kitchen using the ice maker and everything. The dog was barking. And they all knew the time I was coming on live to teach. And it was like, okay, everybody moved upstairs. It was supposed to be all good. And then here he is turning on the microwave and hitting the ice machine. I was like, see, see how far we've come, and then here I am doing elbows in the doing elbows in the living room. DJ, okay, I'm inviting you up, girl. Are you coming on camera? Or are we gonna see you sitting in the dark? Or are you laying in the bed with a blanket? Because right now, I don't see nothing but darkness. Look, let's see. See what I tell you. You got to speak so I can hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Deidre. I'm gonna have to put you down until you come back. You got to fix it because I don't see you either. Do y'all hear? Did y'all hear her? If you hear her, let me know so that I know if it's on my end. Excuse me. Any questions? I might have to go. Okay. All right. You couldn't hear her. Okay. Yeah, come back, Deidre. All right. Thank y'all. She stay in the dark. I know, Jacob. That and under a blanket. Okay, I still don't see you. If you a black girl, if you a black girl, let me stop before YouTube decides that they're gonna say no. I don't see you at all. If I can't see you, I know we're not gonna be able to hear you when I click on it. I'll bring you up in a second. Oh, I see you now. Hold on. Let's go. Let me answer this. How do you meditate without falling asleep? It's such a session. Now, Rachel, you about to laugh at me because I'm the one. I don't know. Girl, you need to talk to Darcel on that because my ass goes to sleep. I can't. My meditation has to be like in my head and I have to be awake. If I lay down at all and start to relax, you will get the 1-2 punch. I will go to sleep. I don't know. Real talk. I'm not that person. I am not the kumbaya meditation, work it out. Have never been able to do so without falling asleep or being seriously bored because my mind is going somewhere else and I need to do something else. But it's so interesting to me because I can hear energies and stuff and feel them and be all right without even doing it. And I think it's because I've been operating that way for so long, but I can't. I don't know. So thank you for asking your question. And I apologize that I wasn't the one that would be able to help you. But at least you got the truth, because girl, I don't know. I have no idea. I wish I could tell you, because that's how you know you're good. Because meditation is the ability to be able to go right before you're gonna go to sleep. And it's wonderful. Matter of fact, Jax might be able to help you. I don't know. But you know, real talk. Appreciate you. Here, I'm gonna put this on here. Because what I won't do is tell you something I don't have the answer to. And if I don't have the answer, I'll figure it out. I don't even have a book to give you. I don't have nothing. But apparently, Darcel can do some, what is it? Sound bowl. Jax can do some sound bowl. They can do all that, play all the instruments. My ass will want to play too. Because by the way, I play tenor sax. Surprise. So I'll play with you. And I play timpani. I try to send up and meditate. I can help her. Okay, Jax, I'm gonna put it on here. Jax, I'm gonna tell you to if you put your thing down there, your thing, i.e. your website, put it there and I'll put it up. Yeah, I don't mind. Anybody, y'all. I'm here for the people. Hello. Hello, peace, ease. Just so you know, I'm on Tube of You, and that's why I have it streaming here. When this cuts off, that's where I'll be because that phone is dying. Yes. It's wonderful. Okay. Okay, Jax, putting it up here. So Jax can help y'all do all that. Close your eyes, visualize, sleep, relax, do whatever you're doing. Let her do it. Cause I'll say, close your eyes. That's it. All right, let me bring Deidre up here so that she could talk. because she's actually going to come on camera and not be in the dark. And her sound is going to work. Go.
Well, I am in the dark. I'm sitting outside.
Oh my gosh. I just knew you just could not give me 2 out of 2. Could you? You couldn't give me 2 out of 2?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. One or the other,
Oh,
yeah, one or the other.
okay. All right then. Well, I guess I'm going to have to accept you
What can
as
y'all
you are,
see? I
huh?
can't even see.
I just see teeth.
Oh, for that.
Thank goodness you brushed them.
I mean, thank God they white.
Let's
um, for that sound, for that question about how do you meditate without falling asleep, I have used a sound bowl with like a little tea and honey in there, and that helps. Well, that has helped me, but now I don't really fall asleep as much. I'm sorry, my cat's out here running around. But dude, I'm glad you had this conversation, Eve, because as you know, and Jack know, like I had a recent like out the blue situation with my family where I was being called everything but my name, and it was very like heartbreaking. Like I reached out because it's like I didn't even know like how to deal with it because I know it was gonna eventually come up, but I didn't know if it was gonna be to that extent. And I just cried on the phone with Jack. I just cried because I just couldn't even I couldn't I couldn't believe like everything that was being said. It was just like I feel like everybody turned against me, and it's
yes.
just because I'm more so not even gonna say different, but I believe it's something different. I'm not because I come from a Jehovah's Witness background. Like Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, we knocking on doors early in the morning, and I couldn't
Yeah.
stand it, y'all. I couldn't stand it, but we there all the time, and so it was just it was disappointing. I mean, I knew it was a possibility, but to be called a devil worshiper, say that
Yeah.
I'm doing good because I'm doing the devil's work, and of course he's gonna help his people that preaches his word. I'm just like, Grandma, I thought I was a
Right.
bookie bear.
Right.
Like that was crazy. So it was crazy. So it is a lot to deal with, but at least now I know how if something hurts me, how to mend that wound, and I'm grateful to Queen Poe for that too, for her teaching me that. Um, so it still kind of affect me, but now I know it's gonna take time, and I just have to give them time. My mother, she kind of like, I don't know about it, but I love you. I'd rather you be in my life and do what you want to do and believe in what you want to believe in, but be careful. You
Yes.
know, it's gonna be more so harder with my grandmother because, like I said, she a diehard. So with come on right now, 84 years old. You think that she ain't gonna go outside, knock on them doors at 7 o'clock in the morning?
Mm.
Another thing coming. My grandma said later they knocked on Fred's door that morning on a Saturday.
Mm.
Like, ma'am, why you out here? You it's crazy, but it's one day at a time. And in regards to the divination, like I kept on saying like it was gonna come when I needed the most, and like I'm I'm just grateful for you, Ian, for Queen Poe. I'm just happy, even though that happened. It didn't take my joy. Like I don't want to cuss because we on the two with you, but I really don't give a MF about what
Thank you very much. I respect you.
anybody feels or thinks about it. Yeah, I don't want to get the two of you shut down.
Yes.
Too much good stuff on here. But yeah, I don't give a MF about none of it. Like I don't give a. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, my bad. But
No
yeah,
worries.
don't care, don't care. Um, like it is what it is. Like all I can say is either accept me for who I am, because I'm not gonna disrespect you or what you believe in, even though I feel like it's not, whatever, whatever. That's not my business. If
Right,
you feel
right.
like it's something that's good for you, do it. I'm not gonna say, oh well, E5 is the best, is the way. That's the real tradition. Come over here, E5. All our people we lost. Come to E5. No, I'm not gonna do that. If you feel like that your good Lord Jesus Christ told us still, whatever you may feel, people, whoever you believe in, And
Yes.
the person that's gonna be there for you, baby, praise him.
Yep.
Don't just tell me
Exactly.
why I'm praising my people. Like I'm happy over here. I'm out of my business eating my cheesecake.
Not eating your cheesecake.
But I can't. Yes, I like cheesecake in you.
Is that why you're not on this
Yeah, I'm out
campus?
of my business. Nah, I'm over here, no, that's not why I'm outside. Like
We
I'm
outside. Okay.
outside in my in house and I don't want to be on my side. It's kinda fresh. So I'm like, I don't wanna she was like, what you wanna YouTube? No, mom, I'm not on YouTube talking about what y'all did to me and call me mama and go
Yeah,
read
I
do
know.
low level. I'm not talking about that at all. But thank you for letting me come up. I wasn't gonna come up. I was gonna do the taco six, but I just want to see my face and just say that. And yeah, man, y'all do messages gonna come up. You gonna love it here. Like it was good.
For real. Thank you for coming up. I'm glad you
For real.
did.
Like I like no
Oh,
worries anytime.
can
I
you
should go
tell
back and
them what
talk in
I
the
told
comments,
you to do?
y'all. And thank y'all for listening to me.
Deidre, can you tell them what I told
Oh,
you to do? What did I tell you to do? Give her my what?
give her. I gave her email.
I said, give her my phone number.
Yeah, she gonna talk.
Have her
She
watch
gonna
this
talk to you.
video.
I last told her like when you call mom, just know that you was like the Kool-Aid version, you know. So if you got any questions with ears, she gonna give you the dirty stuff. So be ready. But yeah, even put herself out there. Don't even not nothing. Really, my mama not even trying to do anything with or no divination, nothing. Yeah, and I was surprised that even Jake, like when she reached out to me, and it meant a lot to me because I got the email saying, "Well, I'm like, okay. Well, I'm gonna wait until she's back in office." Nope, not Jake said, I'm on it. Let me go ahead and call her because I see you
Jack
good.
did. She
So
did.
Jake, baby, it was literally like maybe 4 minutes. Jake in the inbox. Hey, it's Jack. I'm trying to see what's going on. I'm gonna call her a text. I'm just like, yes, please. I don't know. Whichever one you pick, Jack called in like 3.5 seconds.
Go
And
ahead,
told
Jax.
me it's okay.
Kudos to my
Uh,
assistant, Jax. Come
calm
on, Jax.
down. It's okay. Yes, like cause I kept apologizing for my because like I'm not really a crier. And y'all, when
Yeah,
I'm telling you I was crying, I was hyperventilating. I was like, I was doing the ugly cry too, y'all. It was not.
Jax told me.
My eyes were watering, hair all over me. I was, I just thought, she said, first of all, calm down. Okay? I need you to breathe. Because y'all, it was bad. Because I just started talking about it. Because I talked to somebody else about it. Good words of encouragement. But, like, I don't know. It's just when I got on that phone and I just started to tell what happened, I just broke down. Because I just could not believe it. Like, grandma, of all people,
Yes.
like, that is crazy. Like, just my baby. And it hurt. I'm like, I want to cry a bit right now, but, I don't got no, I ain't gonna cry on camera. I cry afterwards. But yeah,
Understood.
it gave hurt my feelings. But she let me know that it's okay to cry, get it out. Like, don't apologize for your feelings. You have the right to feel how you feel. And also, she told me effort and effort. Like, it is what it is.
Come on, Jax.
But she said it in a real professional way. And
I
that's
know.
what I
I know
do.
she did.
Jack, we don't
That's
care
called
about
growth,
none of
right, Jax? That's called growth.
that. For real. Jake was not playing. But I
No.
appreciate y'all. Like, I'm just grateful that I met the Queen Pole. Like, I met her to be led here, and it is what it is. Yep. Love y'all though.
Love you to life. And thank you. And yes, you did. Thank you very much. I'm gonna take you off. You can chill in the back if you want to. You know how this goes. You've been here before. And you'll be back.
I'm here all the time. I'm here all the time, baby. I'm in the comments now.
Yes. All right. Peace. That is so wonderful. Oh, yes, Jix. Real growth. I'm so proud of you pounding it out right now. Listen. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm glad that she shared that. Rhonda said, "Thank you for sharing." Let me go because I missed that one. You back in the comments. I'm glad. Even more excited. Hers is off the chain. Out of the ones that we've been doing lately, out of over the 200 and something that we have done, I wish I was joking. I'm not. Lately, and this is in the last 2 months. Hers has been really, 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 hers really good. Oh, Manny, you could do either or. You could come on and ask a question, or you could say hi. You better get in here before I shut this down, because you know Jack's timekeeper. Hey, come on now, come on. And I'm glad. Yep, Jax, it is. I got 10%. All right, y'all. If y'all not on the hey, peace, Morgan. If you're not on the tube of you, I suggest you go over there because this is about to go. The phone is going, and I don't have it a charger. So come on over because we got a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna shut it down. And for those of you all that missed it, you can go back and watch the replay of this. It'll be up, and I'll work on a thumbnail later. I don't think I want to work on one tonight because I can. All right, let me see. 30-minute warning. Not even. You got less than that. I'm gonna be gone off of here before midnight. Yeah, and Jax, security. She'll shut it down now. You know why she shuts it down? Cause since Jack's been assisting me, she has seen, and I see you welcome. She has seen what hours I put in randomness in my random calls and random stuff. So she has been around now. So she's like, you better cut it off. Jax, she's like my personal bodyguard, timekeeper, prayer cloth, have her because she'll lay a prayer cloth over my chest and my legs whenever she feel I need it. So, Manny, when you come back, I'm gonna put you on the screen because prayer cloth Jax. You throwing out the prayer cloth. You need to cover up. All right, here we go. Thanks, Manny. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Yes, ma'am. Jackson gets me. Okay, so you asked, could you just come up to say hi, or do you have a question? Did you just want to say hi?
Yeah, I don't have any questions.
No worries. You could chill on
Yeah,
here for a minute if you like.
okay.
And you got it in before the minutes, because listen, it's 11:59 Eastern. Jackson's about to shut this thing down. Do you hear me? T minus whatever. No thirst trapping tonight. I didn't. If you noticed, you can't even see the V. Okay? Okay? No prayer cloth needed up here or across my legs. She just want to chill, DJ. Yes. And she got good timing because we got point 0.5 seconds according to Jax. Let me look down. All right. So Jacob's so disappointed. I bet he is. So, prayer cloth Jax. And she's gonna have to get a virtual one because she wants to cover me up all the time. That said, to all of you all that are on here, y'all know that's the countdown. We have hit it now. Ding, 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 the bell. You are more than welcome to follow me on all social media platforms. Let me know, drop comments, and let me know what it is that you'd like me to speak on it, and I will do my best to do a video on it and or talk to you about it on one of my lives on one of these platforms. But until next time, I'm going to tell y'all peace. All right?